Oh, hi there. Well, um, I hope you had a happy new year. Got something I'd like to show you. Sit back and relax and enjoy the builds that I've done over the year. Turned out there was a few more there than I'd expected. Anyways, I'll be here when you're done. So I hope you enjoy. Regulators! Mount up!
This is life. This is life. This is what I know.
Too much television watching got me chasing dreams.
This was my first build. It's from the Bel Air Big Air. It was inspired by a Four Horsemen build that I saw other people do, and, well, being a little arrogant, I thought I could do it too. This is what I came up with. And these are a couple of the first paint jobs I did, without really changing a lot of things. This is a Seahawk tuned Batmobile. And this is a Dolphins Burton Batmobile. That one got repainted a few times. Now this T-Bird I made for my sister, and it went back into the bath about 3 or 4 times till I finally got it the way that I liked it. This was my first submission for the Four Horsemen Invitationals. It was for January. Now I collect Deathlock, and I always wondered what would Mater look like if he went through the Deathlock program. I made this one for my nephew, and my nephew made me one. Because he likes Volkswagens, I used a VW Beetle to make the helmet and the faceplate. One day, I was in Walmart, and I met Bruce Wayne. Really nice guy. And, well, I couldn't really resist making a Batmobile for Bruce Wayne. He really appreciated it. Now, a friend of mine had this Buick Special, and, during COVID, a lot of us, we let go of some things that we needed to. And so he no longer has a car, and I decided to make a replica for him. And, well, this is what I came up with. A friend of mine had this Silverado. At least he had a Silverado, and he wanted me to make one for him. I kind of guessed on the color scheme, and I guess I did pretty good with it. Now, this is the Four Horsemen build. Most people I thought would go with pink hearts, so I decided to go with black hearts. Now, this is a fun build. I was able to take these two vehicles and create what I called the Batster. It's a Batmobile dragster. And I was pretty happy with it. I had a lot of fun making the Porsche for the Maple Leaf Customs 3rd anniversary. And it was pay it forward. And so I just decided to give this to Walter's daughter, because she's the one that said you can't say Porsche unless you own a Porsche. So it would be a Porsche. And if I was going to make a car, if I was going to give a car to Walter's daughter, I decided I'd like to make one for Walter too. And so I don't know if you follow Walter over at the Hotline of Diecasts, but you should really check out his channel. He's got a lot of great information. Stuff is changing all the time. And so I made this one specifically for him. Here we have the March entry into the Four Horsemen Invitational. It was a Range Rover. The theme was Safari. And this is Max Hunter. He's a leprechaun hunter. Also in March, I did a buddy build with Andrew over at Maple Leaf Customs. We both had red Barons that we wanted to restore, and I'd asked him whether or not I could do a buddy build with him, and he graciously agreed. Now, I did a little something different here with the F-150 Lightning, because this month and next month for the Four Horsemen builds, I decided to do a theme. So my neighbor gave me a bunch of Hot Wheels that he had, left over in the grandkids box. He let me rummage around and have a few. And to thank him, I redid this one for him, this purple 40 coupe. So I was on a friend's Instagram page, and I saw this old picture of his dad's Cadillac, and I was like, wow, I think I could make that. And so I did. And when I met up with him later, I gave it to him. It wasn't he surprised? And I think his dad was too. That was an awful lot of fun to do. And well, since I just made that Cadillac, I decided I'd go ahead and make a more modern one. So this was an 82 Cadillac. Now this is a Honda Civic for Paco. And then I also made a DeLorean for Eddie P, the Godfather. I was just trying to, playing around with a couple of things. Godfather likes gassers, so I made him a DeLorean gasser. I did a trade with the Purple Batmobile on Instagram a while back. I did a couple of them, and he's over in the UK, and he's sent me this casting. That's how I ended up meeting him, is he sent this casting over, but it got lost in the mail. Since I'd already gotten all the pieces to finish it, I decided I would just go ahead and make it. It was always my intention to just send it back to him. That's the Commissioner's truck. Now here we have the second part of the Four Horsemen, where it's the race car. The old man's truck. Yeah. This one I enjoyed making. I used a little furnace tape on it for the sides, for the chrome. And then I was doing a trade with Andre, and I knew that he liked police cars and Roger Dodgers. He didn't have a Washington State Patrol car. And at the same time, Sean Stafford and I had been talking, and he kind of taught me how to use lights in a car. So this was my first try at it. Next, when I say we, that's Tom, Spork Syndicate, and I decided to do a buddy build for the St. Jude charity auction that the Diecast Misfits were having. And we both made Batmobiles from RC cars and we ended up purchasing each other's at the auction. This is the Four Horsemen Subaru rally car. And I tried the paint job that the soap drizzle that Andre taught me. And I don't know, I think I had to do it about 5 times. You can go back and see the video for it. Here we have a food truck that I made for Mark over at Fishy Fredville Comics. If you ever get a chance, or you should take a moment and just go over to Fishy Fredville. It's a wonderful community, and I had a lot of fun making these for him. And take a moment. It's like the modern day Mr. Rogers. Next, we have the Silva Challenge. Well, here's just a couple of things that I put together from it. And it was an honor doing it. I kind of bought my way into it at the auction. I managed to win Jim Silva's car in the auction, and the winner was the next person up. So not only do I have a Jim Silva sand crab in my collection, but I also got to do the Silva challenge, so that was pretty cool. What we have here is the Arkham Asylum Batmobile done in the Star Wars for the Four Horsemen. Now, this was the Chevy Gasser the following month for the Four Horsemen. I was talking to Tom over at Caliber 50. I saw in his video he had a bus challenge. I also wanted to try some engraving, and you really can't see that it's engraved because the paint just completely, covered it up. So I'm still working on the engraving, and well, not on this one, but yeah, that'll be a future project. Here we have my Spork Killer, and this was for Jody Sims' Death Race 2023. I lost in the very first round to the Godfather, so he has this as part of his collection now. This was my Paint It Pink Datsun 510 that I wanted to do kind of in the comic book style. So whoever won my car at the auction, my RC car, was also getting a custom made for them. And this is the one that I made for Tom over at Spork Syndicate. So I took the parts of the Camaro and the Batmobile, and lo and behold, once I finished making the convertible Batmobile, well, all the parts from the Batmobile fit in the Camaro, and so those went off to Sammy C. Now this is my Nomad Halloween Four Horsemen. Once again, thanks to Sean Stafford, and also inspired by Beard Does Diecast to light that car up. This is the Morris Minor Saloon, and I made this for Ed over at Mooseman Diecast. I saw on Instagram that he'd like this car, plus I knew he likes Moon Eyes. This was the Shelby Cobra for the Four Horsemen, followed up with the super huge, ginormous build-off, which of course I chose Nirvana, and I did a heart-shaped box truck. Now, all Eddie said was he just wanted peace and love for his birthday. So this was a birthday present for Eddie P. And then it was time to do the Christmas trade. We have a Barracuda for Jason, a truck for Cecil, Charles and I decided to do the double trouble Decker bus. Tom and I decided to do drift steampunk cars, and this is what I came up with for him. This is the 4 cars while I was still working on Eddie's. Eddie's took the longest. I worked more than a month on that car, just grinding things out and trying to get it to fit. And what we finally ended up with was the mobile Bat Lab. And so that was the Christmas trade for Eddie P at Simple Customs. Now the last Four Horsemen build of the year was this Nissan Silvia, which was a taxi version. And I decided, well, let's go to Japan and see what their taxis look like. And so that's what this one was. And the last build of the year, I made a Corvette Batmobile. Once again, just like the other one, I was making a second one here, and I had the extra pieces, and I thought it would look pretty cool in a Corvette. And I wanted to see what the Corvette seats looked like in the Batmobile, so that one's still a project yet to be done. Well, I think just a little Mod Podge. You'd paint this part up gold here so it matches the rest of it, and it'll be just about done. So that took a little longer than I expected, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you stay with me through the year, catch some of the other videos that I do. And if you have any suggestions for me, if you want to write a letter to Santa, just go ahead and leave it in the comments, and we'll see what we can do to, well, make somebody else's dream come true. Have a Merry Christmas all year round. Bye-bye for now.